show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to get awesome with you guys today. Making sure all the bells and whistles are going for us today. But we have our crew with us today, and looks like a furry extra guest we'll get to in a moment. First of all, from Studio C in the Big D at Dormont, PA, it is John Chichilla. He's a gadget guru at Big Bang International Esquire.
Yeah, and now I think very soon you're going to be, Big D is going to not only be Dormont, but dispensary. We're getting a dispensary.
What? You're getting a dispensary?
Yeah, okay. The old Lighting by Eric.
Ooh, something's getting lit.
Someone came up with a good name. It should have been Lit by Eric.
Lit by Eric. Something's getting lit up. Also with us, with her furry friend from up north, the Dudders. Katie is with us.
Hi, I have a cat behind me.
You do have a cat behind you.
I know. She's bathing behind me.
There you go. That's great.
Just like you see a random head, that's what that is.
You're sporting your Las Vegas
yes.
ness.
Since I spent more time in Vegas in the last month than anywhere else.
I love when you were wearing. I think you were wearing that shirt from visiting that place when you were out like a week before, and we walked by. There was a gift shop for the Neon Museum. Mm-hmm. Where you got that. So I was like, here, you can get merch too. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess so.
You can pretend you went there with me.
Exactly. Like, well, I was in Vegas and I considered going at one point, but it was 105 degrees out, so I said no. So, anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can subscribe to us on all your podcast players. Email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. AwesomeCast on the Twitter, and we got a great Facebook group. And you're showing her boot cup up. So there it is.
It came with me.
It came with you. No allegiances. I remember that picture the other day. What you got? That Timbits and something else, right?
Starbucks. I had a pumpkin spice. I was carving pumpkins, and I had a pumpkin spice latte. My boo cup was full of my Dunkin' is my boo, my water cup, and then Timbits from our wrestling adventure with Lady Sorg the night before.
Fantastic. But and also, let's say a Facebook group. You can also follow get started a conversation with us on AwesomeCast on Discord and Reddit. And we are, of course, here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you to our partners over at postindustrial.com that are also telling everybody about the awesomeness. Thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford, as well as a coffee club level, Matt Weller, John Carmen, Cynthia Classie, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And at the fan show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner, who... Shout out to him. He started pulling some clips this week, just in time for all the Halloween-y stuff we talked about last week, I guess. So that's been going across the social media and everything. So good time to join the TikTok and the YouTube page, because a lot of people are getting some eyeballs over there. So thank you so much to Dave for helping out with that as well. And of course. You guys support the show too at patreon.com/wrestlingmayhemshow. No, AwesomeCast. This is the AwesomeCast. Sorry. I'm sorry. I saw your awesome thing as a week picture, and it kind of broke me. I wasn't ready for it. But anyways, so let's get into our awesome things of the week, and let's go ahead with Katie's visual.
So last week I had a giant pumpkin, and this weekend carved the giant pumpkin.
The results.
Yeah, that's my buddy. He is still huge. And if you're listening at home, it has big giant teeth in the bottom, little tiny teeth on top, and big circle eyes. Very complex pumpkin carving.
I'm still trying. Whenever I do get my hands on a pumpkin for carving, it is like the classic like studded teeth kind of thing. Like I have nothing else in me artistically when it comes to pumpkin making.
I like go all out. Like think last year I did you Snorlax on the pumpkin?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So I actually usually will get a stencil, like find a stencil online and then like tape it to the pumpkin. And then I will use a toothpick and dot trace wherever I want things cut out and then cut them out.
Oh, jeez.
It's a lot of fun. I highly enjoy it.
I can't say that I've actively participated in Halloween for several years at this point. It just happens around me at this point, and I'm usually busy. But I got to give a shout out to my neighbors across the street who have 2 Pikachus, a Jack Skellington, and I don't know what the other one was. Missy says it's from Where the Wild Things Are, which was like a hell of a pull if that's accurate. So, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Is that Richard Scarry that does that one? Or am I thinking a different one? I might be thinking a different one.
I think it's a different one.
I think that is a different one. But I do have to give, let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of my coworkers. We're doing a 247 pay-per-view the other night, MMA down at the casino in Washington. And the wonderful ring jacket that our announcer, Drew Shannon, who we work with on several shows in the area, wrestling and MMA, some nice Nightmare Before Christmas patterns going on there. So I really appreciate that. So I mean, there was a bit of a theme to the show. So at least in promotions, I was sad there was no decorations, like no pumpkins around the ring. I'm sure maybe it was against the commission rules. I don't know. So I should have asked. I should have asked. My favorite PA commission guy was there, so he's the one that I would ask those kinds of fun questions with. But anyways. So the pumpkin is out, and well, your porch is generally decorated, but you also have the skeletons are the skellies are kind of year round, anyways.
Yeah, the skeletons live outside year round. I did decorate the ladies. They the one is a cat, and then the other one is a devil, and then I have a small skeleton cat that is currently wearing my brother's costume from when he was 3. It's this devil like cape. So the skeleton cat is a devil cape on my porch because it just makes sense. But they're all super adorable, and we gotta go. I go a little bit. At least the porch is fun.
Yes.
If nothing else,
yes.
my porch is fun.
You have your own little you have a nice porch set up, and you have a road that people actually kind of traverse on. My dead end does not help things. Like a whole 10 people are going to see whatever I do. So
it's so funny because it's like we are one of those neighborhoods where like we get nobody to trick or treat. So like when they come out, we're like, please just take as much candy as you want. We will give you every bit of candy that you could ever want.
You know what? Come over here because it's Halloween night and they got everything going on here on the main street. And I think we should do something next Monday. Just putting that out there. Let's have a super Halloween night next Monday night since we're like, holy crap, nothing's going on, right? So yes, they're doing a parade and everything. They're doing trunk or treat down the street. I'm thinking about like maybe getting the camera and one of the live views out and streaming the parade, maybe. So like let's see what we've had some fun doing some live podcasts here on Halloween night. So maybe we should pull something together here last minute. So and
Chilla's been dropping his pumpkins in there. I'm throwing porch pics in there. Oh, I think I deleted Chilla's Iron Man. I'm sorry, Chilla.
Oh,
no, I still see it.
Is it in the dock?
Yes, go look at the dock. There's all kinds of stuff happening in the dock.
Oh no. Okay, we'll see. But again, I haven't been in the chat room yet to see what's going on over there too. So, damn it. But anyways, let's see. We got that. There's the Iron Man. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I remember you doing these before.
And then the Snorlax is down below.
Okay.
Scary pumpkin.
Oh, that is a Snorlax. Look at that.
That's kind of scary.
Oh, and there's your porch. It's sideways, but that's okay. We get the idea. Everybody turn their phone sideways. Let's watch it on video. And
it's my skeleton cat and
skeleton
little devil.
Cat.
Little devil.
I don't think I can turn these in. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. But it looks like I'm like, what a crowd! Why does Podner have this photo of your porch in here, in the dock? So, Chilla, let's keep it.
You can rotate in the thingy thing
in the app on the iPad.
Oh, I don't know about in the app. I'm doing it on the.
Oh yeah, I just saw it get turned. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You You did the turn
Yay.
for me in your fully functional computer there. So there's a right side up if you guys are joining us on the video side. There you go. Still a scary cat. There you go.
Scary cat, skeletons.
Yes. Chilla, what is your Halloween-related awesome thing of the week? A
So
PSA, a warning, if you will, because you never know what's going to come home in that trick-or-treat bag, right?
Yeah, what's hidden away in those kids' candies? You know, all the expensive drugs that people are giving out.
It's complete BS. Listen,
This is be careful. People are hiding Doom inside of Milky Way.
Doom. Like, what?
Because we put it everywhere else. Why not put it in the
candy bar? We didn't get to the story last week about somebody was running Doom in Notepad. So,
this one they said. So at the end of this one, so this is someone took a Milky Way and threw like a very small Adafruit display in it.
So he's hold on. So let me play by play. He's cutting the end off. He pulls it out, and there's a display in the middle of the Milky Way bar, and Doom is running on it. And by the way, do not eat if it's turning complete. What the hell?
I was surprised. Like a little below that video, there's like an ad placement, and then they said, "Yeah, you're right. Like someone has it running in the Notepad app." Someone played it with a rotary telephone. I can't imagine that.
Sure.
And then something about a Nintendo game, a watch alarm clock.
I'm getting different ads.
So yeah, I'd be interested how to play Doom on a rotary phone, but maybe that's what you need to connect up to the Milky Way to make it work.
Doom is everywhere. Doom can be everywhere. It's yeah. So.
Doom, 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 doom.
Doom, 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 doom. The cat plays Doom. The skeleton plays Doom. You know. Well, thank you for that PSA. I haven't seen that one on my local news yet. Hey, I have a useful app. Not to say your tips aren't useful. But so I was having a major problem about a month ago with figuring out color balance, and some of these rooms are hard, and I can't figure out what the color balance is, and sometimes the white balance on different cameras kind of gets a little wonky with things, and we've been having trouble with it. So I wanted something that would be a little easier, something just something else as a tool, because I know there's been these white meters and all these things that I see. So I started looking into the App Store, and I found this app called KEVWB, KEV White Balance, and the whole idea is it will point. So I will point it at. You can point it at the lights, and you see we got about 3,400K. I can point it at things. There's our guest sitting over there, and he's at about 3,100. So you have an idea what that white balance is. It's measuring that as you go. Oh, I just realized it's not actually showing this.
So it froze.
See, this is the thing I was talking about, Chilla. I think my my adapter might be
Your
going.
dongle.
Yeah, my dongle might be I only use it like every week here. Oh, there we go. Here's my messy desk there. So you see the number is changing as we go. I mean, it's pretty even because we only have one source of light right now. But especially we're in places where like, okay, what is the light temperature inside the MMA cage or the wrestling ring or something like that, right? Or the sun goes down and all those skylights, the sun goes down right at bell time and you don't have any time to actually fix anything. So I think it's been really helpful with things. So definitely recommend. This is a $3 app, $2.99 on the App Store for iOS. I do not know if there's an Android version. There's actually a bundle that you can get with color, temperature, and lux meter bundle as well. But I mean, that's more I think for probably photography and DSLRs. I mentioned a lot in this too. But again, we're kind of dealing with different cameras, so I need like a good starting point without having to fuss with the menus, and because some of the cameras we have been a little more difficult to obtain a proper white balance and just don't seem to set right, which is funny since they're the more expensive cameras. So that's something we've been kind of dealing with lately. So that's really white balance meter KEV. Again, it's $2.99, or for about $2 more, you can get it with the Pocket Lux meter as well. So Lux, that gives you like your lumens and stuff and I think that is more of a photography thing. That's nothing I've ever dealt with on my side on video, at least for event video, I suppose. So, but yeah, I mean, is this something that could be helpful to you guys in the photography world? A little bit. I know, Katie, we talked about a recent job where just like the lighting is just all over the place. Every like inch we went to in this one building.
Oh, that was terrible. I want to take it there. I can't wait till we go there next time. And I just want to be like, oh, that's this. This is this. Wow. Because it's just
basically any hotel conference center is going to be probably horrid when it comes to lighting. You know, I was able to get it to a pretty decent spot on the video cameras this time around, so that I was kind of happy with. All of the highlight footage I shot was all over the place though. So, but for the presentations, I got it locked down pretty well. You know, the lighting we used a different part of the room this time, so it was like, okay, the light's actually like in front of them. You know, so. But
in front of the people, that's exciting.
Light in front of the people, the presenter people. Oh, that's amazing, right? Jeez.
I wish they would let you do more with the with webcam white balance adjustment. Maybe there is something out there, but just embedded in the operating system, because I've been trying not to install like 52 driver applications for all the different webcams and whatnot. But it would be nice if you could take the same type of control there.
Chilla, I got a throwback for you.
Got a throwback?
Well, because ages ago I gave away all of my Logitech cameras, including the nice like 910s that we got, you know, that we were using for the show. I think we were still using them when we moved into the studio, and then I dug up all the old Pro HDV cameras we use currently. That's right. These are HDV tape cameras that we're using in here typically for these. You know, they've worked pretty well so far.
They work,
and they look like really important professional cameras when you look in the window. So it's a double thing. But I needed a webcam because I was not confident in the adapter to the 4K camera that I did before, because somebody had to come in over remote for this conference. So I'm like, I'm just going to get a webcam. Best Buy had, I feel like, kind of slim pickings, and I got a new Logitech 922, I think it is. Nice $100 camera. And since Chilla, I had to retire the old Apple display. It's fantastic. I love it. But the problem is every time there's a little bit of a power glitch, it's like a week before I can get it to reset. So I've been like hanging with my one monitor, which is the Walmart brand one I put on the desk, and I realized the blacks are terrible with this thing. So I had to replace it with an Asus that was hanging around here. So sadly, it's been retired. Jeff the Roomba was bumping into it today in the middle room. But Jeff had a bad day. I had to pull a whole USB cord out of its brushes. It was bad. It was bad. Jeff had a very bad day today.
Jeff in the very bad.
Jeff was all tangled up.
Yes, he was all tangled up. It was like, save. You get the message, save Jeff. And, you know, I wish I could put the name in there so that it actually said. It just says Roomba stuck on a cliff, and he's just stuck on this carpet here underneath the desk where the cord. But it sees the cords and thinks it's on a cliff, I guess, and it says, no, I'm not going further. So, anyways, that's enough of that. All right, I want to give a shout out to our friends up the street at Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, and now in Southside Works. Got a nice little. It's literally a little like box. It looks like it's down there from the pictures I was seeing on their social media. But go check them out. Our delicious sponsors for well over a decade here on the Awesome. Giving some awesome pizza for the AwesomeCast. Thank you so much to our friends. Check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com. Okay. Yes.
If you're down there like in that like plaza area where like the movie theater used to be, where are they in proximity to that?
I don't know. I think that's where they're at, is somewhere in that plaza area, because it was a pop-up, and I think they built a small building for them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, hold on. Look on their Instagram. I think there's some pictures over there, or their Facebook. If you guys have a moment there to pull it up. In the meantime, let's get into some of these other stuff. There are new iPads this week. Are we excited? Is there anything to be excited about? I understand.
More speed. M2s.
More speed. M2 chips. So you're telling me, well, actually, no, the M2s are not faster than like an M1 Pro, correct? Like there was like a lot of discussion over that when they came out. Like that's, and also did the M1 even reach its potential in those models?
That's where I wonder, like, did it really reach its potential? And to put it, did you keep it in the show notes from last week?
If we didn't talk about it, I left it in for the most
So
part.
there's a thing where I put, is this going to be sword recording? I
What?
got deleted.
Oh yeah, okay. I know. I don't remember deleting it, but yeah, was that from the video?
So it was the video, and it actually had the like, it was a marker point in the YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're putting what, like, is it DaVinci Resolve, or what's like the high end?
Yeah, the
video
DaVinci
editing
Resolve is the one they were talking about, because I think that it wasn't mentioned by name, but in one of the pass-bys of the interface, you saw the DaVinci Resolve icon. And I did download it this week. Unfortunately, I downloaded the wrong one. I downloaded the $300 version and not the free version. I just wanted the free version to just kind of start poking at. But anyways, I guess background, DaVinci Resolve is done by Blackmagic. If you buy like a camera from them, they give you a license. There's a free version everybody can use that's very, very powerful. But of course, you know, if you want the super crazy, like there's some AI stuff I think in there they have implemented, but you need like the $300 version, which is not bad. That's how much Final Cut is. I paid for Final Cut 10 years ago for $300, and like, it just gets updated and better. And I imagine DaVinci's probably around the same way, right? I'm honestly looking at it as an easy way to pass along video projects for people that might work with us, because they're not going to get Final Cut, because they're not Mac people. I don't think we can afford to get like Adobe licenses for more than the two people, because that compounds exponentially beyond that. So we can't really share that kind of stuff unless they come into the studio here. And but yeah, to see it come to the iPad, like that's the first, like, this is a full-fledged video editor. There's been some kind of off-brand ones that are on there that have been pretty good, from what I understand. But yeah, I guess they got a good camera in it now. You have more heft to it. You can do more with it. You got a giant display. That's great to see what the video is going to look like. I'm so afraid to show any of this video, because I heard that another podcast had their stuff already taken down from showing iPad commercials.
Okay, I was gonna say I threw the time marker that I was talking about for you in there. Maybe you put it on and turn it all the way down.
We're not monetized on there yet, so you know whatever. Is it the one at the end?
It's the one right under your.
Oh, right under there.
Right
Okay.
under. Yeah.
I just popped up. I'm sorry. I still have the original iPad Pro, so things are starting to get a little bit slow here. I don't even know what generation my iPad is. I had an idea today where I was like, I need to start looking at technology that I use on a daily basis and realize which stuff is not from this decade and start addressing them. So, and apparently iPad's along that method. So we are going to attempt to show this without getting shut down. So we're talking about this video here, and you see he's on the rig and he's bringing the files in and doing all that right there. What app is he using to record?
It didn't start where I had it. If you go back like a little
bit,
it actually shows. Okay, it actually shows him with a rig.
Yeah, it's just when I got to it.
Oh, no problem. I figured that's going to be you soon.
I don't know. Well, Katie, I mean, how much are we using our iPhone Maxes out in the out in the field these days?
Oh, so much. Like, this is unreal. I mean, like, it's so wild. Like, I keep having moments, and like, we've seen such an evolution of tech, and just like how I couldn't do what I do right now with the laptop I have and the phone that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just it's so much you can just do with your phone now that it's just like, okay, good. Oh, okay.
So and the question I have is, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go back and watch the full video. I just kind of read about the highlights.
Yeah, I've seen all the reactions to this.
What is the whole, like, people went nuts over the whole hover? So now.
Oh, with the pen. Well,
the Apple Pencil.
So my understanding is instead of tapping on the screen, you can hold the pen over the screen. It will detect it, so it's like a paintbrush. So not a paintbrush, but like
but it'll
like a
also
spray,
let you see where it's going to mark before you like put the pencil down.
Oh, okay.
Which I guess for doing something, if you were like doing video or something like that, it could make sense for like timelines and trying to.
Sounds like a big artist situation, right? Like that's something that you know, if you are somebody that is a Wacom tablet user, draw on a Surface Pro, draw on an iPad, and that's how you do your art. Like I think that makes a big difference probably, or it would make a big difference to them, and we just don't see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's supposed to detect. It's supposed to detect the pencil up to 12 millimeters above the display, allowing users to see a preview of their mark before they make it.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a preview. It's a mark preview instead of having to Control Z everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the old Photoshop way. So the biggest thing with these iPads, obviously the M2 is a big deal, but also they start at $449, and the statement that I heard on another show was about how like you have an M2 processor iPad, you add that keyboard to it, and now that beats about any Android tablet I think they were talking about over a Mac Break Weekly or Google or This Week in Google or something. Like it is like it blows any of it out of the water. It is a mature operating system and everything by now, right? So like other than you just don't like iOS or iPad OS or something for some reason, like I don't know why you would go with like an Android tablet at this point. I can't remember the last time I've seen a viable Android tablet. So, and even I think, is this the other version, or what am I looking at? Or maybe I'm looking at the A14 version at 450. Yeah, this isn't even. I'm sorry, the 450 is the A14, which isn't the M2. That's not the M2. That's the higher end version. And this one's capacity is 64 gigabytes and 256. Is that the higher end one that I'm seeing that video for then? Has to.
The one I showed you the video from was from the Pro.
That is the Pro. I'm looking at the general iPad. The iPad Pros still start at $799. And again, just they got a lot going on, and I don't know if you're getting all out of it so at that point. But that's a 10th generation iPad at $449. They still sell the 9th generation for $329. The Mini's at $500. And then we still have the iPad Air for some reason at $599. I'm not sure what your advantages are at that point. I haven't dived too. Again, I just have old iPads around. So I mean, they bring up my truck sheet during an event. I'm good, and I can watch Netflix on it. Like that's like I'm good for that stuff, or just as an extra screen for showing. Like I love the iPad for what when we're showing websites and stuff, because there's not going to be as much extra stuff going on there, right? And it's pretty slick. And when this adapter isn't fritzing on me, it works out very, very well. So I don't know. It's just the next one I consider not terribly revolutionary, but the more power on their hood is really, really good. So. Katie, I don't think you are in the iPad world, are you?
No, surprisingly I've never gotten into it. That's really surprising considering how much other. I mean, I just got into Watch World, so I guess I don't know. I'm a little behind everybody else.
You're stepping into it. You've been in Super MacBook world forever, though. So I mean, and your phone can do everything. So at this point, that's
pretty much it. Well, it does everything but tell me the correct time zone. Sometimes.
Yes. There's problems in Arizona with your phone, I know.
I just can't go to Arizona anymore.
Hey, I wanted to talk about last week, and we didn't get to this, but I need you guys to help me through this, because I got to notice. Am I the only one? Chilla, you have Fios. Katie, I think you have Comcast, correct? Or, yeah? Okay. So, did you get this email or a message or something from Verizon over the last couple of weeks? I got this while I was traveling, and it really kind of threw me because, again, out of context, and I started reading it. The notice I got was something like Verizon has become aware. And the idea is that Verizon, they're calling it home awareness and device identification. The idea, from what I understand it, reading this, because I'm like, what did they just turn on in my modem right at home. So the idea is it's going to help with a layer of security by using the Wi-Fi sensing technology. So, I mean, a Wi-Fi is going to see, hey, there's a device that's on. Like, I get notices all the time from Eero says, hey, such and such device has added, and it's weird because it's like the Wi-Fi chip, company that I don't know, and doesn't say like my HP laptop or this or that, or my watches don't always pop up, so I'll get like a new device notification, so it sees those generally. So okay, let me just read this verbatim because I'm gonna fail to describe this. Home awareness uses Wi-Fi sensing technology to detect motion and report activity in your home via MyFios app. The technology, patented by Origin Wireless and Verizon Ventures portfolio company, enables select Fios router models to detect disruptions in existing Wi-Fi signals in the home and let the user know if there is unexpected motion. It is using Wi-Fi signals in your home with the modem you already have as a motion detector. And by doing that, if it notices motion that is unusual, like it seemed like they're not moving with a device the way they would expect it through a home because it would know your patterns, then it will notify you. This is equally technologically impressive, something I didn't know you could do, and scary at the same time. Katie, you were nodding in agreement over there.
Yeah, it's so, I don't know. Like, I feel like every day we're like putting together something and you're like, holy shit, or holy crap, this is how they're tracking me now. Like
we're doing what now? Like,
right?
So have you been doing this whole time or something? Is there is there
gathering data?
Is there somewhere where, like, in my mind, somewhere there is a monitor that looks like the Daredevil's echolocation, or the end of the Dark Knight, right? Is that what we're talking about? So, like, that exists somewhere, but Alfred didn't shut it down with a keyword. So, Chilla, have you heard of this before?
I haven't heard of this. It is kind of spooky.
Perfect season for it.
But in the same respect, like, a lot of tech is going this route, right?
Mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
If you think about like the camera I have, right? It's using images it's using the image and internal AI to figure out where I am, where my face is, and then move with it, right? If you look at your camera on your phone with the infrared piece that's actually doing Face ID, or the pieces that handle the fingerprint sensor, like, all of that is grabbing bits of information, turning it digital, and then deciding what to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about it in, like, conference rooms, right? Like, I can tell how many people are in a conference room. I can tell what the temperature is. I can tell, and you see this in, like, big server data centers, right? Is the ambient room temperature too hot? Like, do I need to throw an alarm? I don't know. Like, and there was who was it? There was someone that did, like, it was a home. It was like a home security. Was it Eve? Like, there was a home security / like thermostat company, and they let you take, like, little devices and, like, put them around your house that it would help adjust the thermostat, so you could say, I want this room to be X,
Mm-hmm.
versus wherever the thermostat is. Or you could say, make sure the average temperature or the minimum temperature across all these rooms is X. Now, that means some rooms going to be warmer than others, but whatever. And that someone was talking about it on a podcast, and they were saying, yeah, I got a notification on my phone that it detected a heavy amount of people in a room, and the temperature went up, and it ended up being the person, like the guy was away on business or on vacation or something, and his kids were throwing a house party. So there's, I don't know, while it's spooky, I don't think it's out of the realm of possible. And if it's your house, I'd be more worried. What are they doing? Where does this information live and for how long?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, are they, because I guess here's the flip side of that equation, right? If I can get that information, then I can tell when Mike's home and when Mike's not home. And I can tell when then I can watch that and say, well, Mike's normally not home on Tuesday nights from 5 to 10 p.m. Now I'm going to go break into his house and take his things.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I get nervous about that kind of, where is it getting stored and for how long?
There's no mention of it from what I'm seeing on the article on Verizon's website that we've been reading. There's actually another part to this about the device ID. Verizon also partnering with Sam Seamless Network, another ventures portfolio company, and they're providing customers with additional peace of mind of device identification. With Device ID, customers can monitor their home network for new or previously unrecognized devices. So now you have a better idea of things connected as well. So
now that I like.
Yeah.
That I really like.
Yeah, so I mean, some nice security stuff. I mean, but there's no mention about where this goes, where the security of this is. I mean, Verizon. I mean, we know from their cell phone practices, that your data, using your phone is not necessarily, kept under lock and key, depending on what parties and law enforcement might be involved. So yeah, no. And unfortunately, you have to look at all these like, hey, that's a great idea. But you also have to look at, Twitter's a great thing, but Twitter can be used for really terrible things, right? And now we have to, and it's honestly smarter to be able to look at these technologies this way, Gone are the days where like, that's a great app, let's try it. Okay, what else is that app doing? Turns out iHeartRadio is clicking ads in the background to sweeten their numbers or something like that. That was a big thing on I think Android apps that all got taken down over that or something, right? Or ad networks were doing something like that in the background, like weird stuff like that. So it's everything good can also be used for ill, and of course I go full on and just turn all this stuff on. I have not on this yet. I haven't dived into it. I don't even know if I have the FiOS app on here, to be honest. I should look at it. But hey, we've got actually a lot of chatter going on in the chat room I want to catch up on. Potter is saying about how the M2s are crazy powerful. Man, I am loving my M1 Pro, by the way. It's nice as a secondary. I'm juggling, like I'm literally like able, I redid how I'm doing my projects to do them on more mobile drives and SSDs, so I can be a little more fluent with stuff and trying to be better at offloading, especially since I'm traveling so much. And I've been using the MacBook just be like, okay, process over here, so I can keep working on the main drive that has all the drives connected and the internet and everything. I'm sorry, I'll get to the chat for a second. Have you guys aren't like crazy like me that you own, well, Chilla is, but Katie, I know you only like own a Mac and a Mac Mini, MacBook and Mac Mini, right? So have you still have the Mac Mini, right?
I do.
Have you had your laptop besides your Mac Mini and had
No.
the mouse go over?
No.
So this is, especially when it's having the Apple display problems, I sit my MacBook on my desk and my iPad is kind of in the middle, and I'll throw up email or TweetDeck or something on it. And my mouse can go from monitor 1 to monitor 2 across my iPad and to my MacBook Pro. And I was downloading like some templates for something, that special project we were working on today, Katie. So I downloaded them on my main computer, my Mac Mini that's connected, so it's going to be the faster one. Pulled it across my iPad, so you see the file. I don't know what would have happened if I dropped there. Usually it doesn't work. Depends on what it is, since they're giant video files. And then dropped it over in the downloads folder over on the other computer, because I was just kind of doing it on the side while things were processing on the main computer. It's works like 90% of the time. It's way better than the old Universal, like, what was it? Sidecar was always getting weird on me. It just freaking works. and it just expands everything. And I'm literally like just tossing files that I downloaded on the road on my MacBook. As long as it's not like a 10 gigabyte file, they're going over pretty quick. And it's super, super functional. Chilla, have you been experiencing this with all Apple kind of devices like that?
Like, you're dragging and dropping the file, like?
Yeah. I'm just like, I had a couple of
zip
files.
Or you're using it as a second display.
No. I'm using it as a second display, and I'm using it to do things. I am like pulling things over, pulling this web page over here because I want to watch. I'm throwing my AirPods in, and I'm going to listen to this YouTube podcast over on this computer over here. And then it's all that stuff. Remember when we did the Synergy setup in the old studio in the basement that again worked about 50% of the time, and we were dragging and moving over here and doing stuff and producing the podcast, and the Zoom calls are here, and I could just take my mouse and do that. It's that, but it's so much more functional right now, and I didn't have to do anything. It again, the great Apple, it just works. And how giddy am I that for using like a just productivity feature here. But no, highly. And again, it's a desk that has like all Apple devices on it right there on the desk. So I mean, it's kind of the perfect scenario, right? To do something like this. And I can't remember if it even works on my old iPad. So. But is it universal control? Is that the proper term for that? I think
so.
I don't know. I feel like they've had like so many of the same.
They do keep renaming.
They do.
Single keyboard and mouse between Mac and iPad is the universal control. Yes.
So Amanda's in the chat, and she says, "Oh, I do that at work from iPad to iMac to display to MacBook Pro, and then I lose my mouse." Yeah, I did. Sometimes I'm trying to get the edge of the Final Cut window, and I end up over on the iPad opening something else. Like that does happen a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as like when we're using Synergy and stuff.
Do you do the mouse shaky thing where like you make your cursor like?
Oh, that happens
that
here.
Setting?
I turned that on. Synergy was one of the reasons, and I have that on. Is that here? No, I guess it's. Oh, I
have it on my Mac.
I have mouse trails so I can find them on the displays here. And then the shake mouse I usually do it on the Mac to find it because again,
I have that. And plus, I have the same problem.
I do get a thing where the mouse will disappear every once in a while. It's not happening terribly often anymore, but it was definitely an issue for a while. So, and I am not updating my work Macs for a while. Like, we are not getting Ventura for a bit. I did update the iPad Pro. I've seen no discernible differences since it's an old original iPad Pro. I don't think I get any of the special features. So, but anyways, at least I got.
You should get Stage Manager or whatever it is.
How do I turn it on? How do I Stage Manager on this thing? How does Stage Manager work? Is that the like when I go into my multi-window situation?
You have to go into the settings. My iPad's upstairs. I apologize. I think you do, at least in the betas, you had to turn it on, but it's like that when you swipe up, there's an additional like multitasking.
Nothing comes up in the search and settings. No, I don't see anything new about I don't see anything new about that. I don't think that's a feature that works on my thing.
iPad Pro Stage Manager compatibility.
This is the first iPad Pro. The
first generation and later for the iPad Pro.
Really?
Hold on.
I think this thing updated. Sorry, I kicked the TV on. I was going. Anyways, so this is exciting. But Katie, anything else you want us to hit up before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I'm looking at the doc. I was like, we talked about the roller coaster thing before.
We talked about it when it happened, but this became a thing in the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
Like
that's...
everybody noticed this, and I think the new one it actually directly calls 911
Oh no.
on the watch.
It-
Like that's a new Watch OS feature in the last like few months versus when
and
we saw it.
they're doing a thing in the next beta already because all the stuff that was going on with that with different roller coaster rides.
Yeah, so
and
the
whatnot.
idea is when you're on a roller coaster, the function on your watch that says you've been in a car accident, let me call emergency services or your emergency contact. The roller coaster feels like a car crash to it. I know Katie and I, we talked about on the show, we were at Dollywood back in May, and we saw like, what was it, like 3 of the coasters had that sign in front of them? Like only 3 of them. Like these
there
ones.
was a big drop.
Yeah, there's like there's a big drop or something crazy that happened in them, right? Or you went to 0 and 60 in like 3 seconds. I was one of them. So, and we were just like, wow, they must have had a problem with that. And now I guess it's gotten even worse, and it became like basically everybody found out about it that hasn't been going to roller coasters. And
I think the next beta, because they've already released, now that they've released the next version, that we're already on to the next beta. Has something in there where you're going to be able to report like miscalculated like 911 emergency type
so
stuff.
it'll start working its way out. But they were saying like you need to geolocate out the function when you go to like amusement park or something, right? So
this says if you go to the settings app on your iPad, go to home screen and multitasking, and there might be a stage manager at the bottom of the home screen and multitasking screen.
I'm not seeing it, sir. I am not seeing it.
Maybe they don't have it on that.
Yep, I don't think it's on this version. I didn't expect it to, but I'm just glad to see that it's not slower, because I was really worried about that for a while, because the thing has been kind of sluggish lately. So, anyways. Let's see. Verizon roller coasters. What's this blog? There's a random blog post in here from Google. Oh, did you see Katie? Did you see Doug post this over in the Slack? Actually,
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't see what article it was.
This was the search tool, and I played with this a little bit. At least I played with the tab that I don't know if it's been there the whole time, but I didn't realize how much information happens in Google. Did you read up on this?
Yeah, I didn't search myself, but I was like, holy, like I was searching other people.
So what's the general idea here?
So like things will pop up, like you just search, it says what's your personal contact info, you tap on the info, and then it says that like if something's in there you don't want to be seen, you can be like remove results, which is pretty fun, and then view removal requests. So yeah, so like if there's something out there that like you're like, I don't want this to be part of me, or maybe it's something that someone, I don't know, a little more malicious, you'd be like, no, goodbye.
So you can let's say and this looks like it works on mobile, so I'm gonna as soon as Google loads here. Okay, now it's getting sluggish again.
You're on the Googles.
So I'm gonna go Michael Sorg in Pittsburgh. All right. And we're going to go check that out. And it's got, there's all my results, something. I mean, these are pretty straightforward. Foursquare? Really? Okay. Let's say I don't want, there's an interview I don't remember conducting. But anyways, with my hands up in the air.
Perfect.
So this is what I never saw before. And I don't think this is the feature, but I think this leads to the feature. You have these 3 dots and I don't know, maybe they've had these for a while. You have 3 dots by any of these, and it actually gives you source information and whether it was personalized or not to your are you getting the result? And then you see at the bottom there is a remove. Oh, you don't see it because of the logo here, but lower left there is a remove result. And it pops up. Why would you like to remove it? It shows my personal contact info. Contact info may be intent to harm me. It shows other personal info, illegal info, outdated. So like you can actually like, hey, I can get rid of Foursquare. I could get rid of my MySpace page. So there is something to actually. Now, does it do that to everything? Maybe. Well, I don't know. Not interested. You generally like I'm just on the front page, and you got your 3-dot situation. It gives you just kind of non-interested, not shopping for this. Don't show stuff from Ars Technica. What if I do? I don't know. Let's just do. I'm gonna type Dutters and see what happens.
Well, it's super weird, like, because I'm looking and I searched my real name in Pittsburgh, and there's all the things that pop up with Katie too, even though Catherine's not listed on any of those. So it's very much using Google Smart.
Sometimes too smart, and that's why we need to correct it sometimes like this, right? So,
because somebody's like, I'm like, that's not me. Who's this stranger?
This is you, the data nerd, digital marketing specialist, and storyteller.
That's me.
That's you. That's you. Are you still the old? Is it still the old you with Godzilla picture on here?
Oh yeah, it'll probably never go away.
Oh wait, that's not. Actually, there's no picture on this for some reason.
Ooh.
Is this you? Is this a fake you? No, that's something else. Is that a fake you, or do I need to like join to see the picture kind of situation? I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe you got some interesting piracy on there.
Who knows?
I'm gonna check on the app.
I might.
Because now I'm curious. But anyways, so that's gonna do it for us this week. Chilla, thank you so much for joining us again once more.
Thank you for having me, sir.
At Chilla on the Twitters.
John Chill on the Facebooks.
And of course, the Dutters, Katie Dudas, joining us as well from the let's say frigid north. It's not frigid yet, so but it's definitely snow belt up there, right? You're right over the snow belt, is that right?
It's right underneath it.
Right underneath it. Oh, geez, that means your winters were like 10 degrees warmer than mine growing up.
Probably.
You don't know the harshness of growing up in the snow belt, Katie. You don't know. You haven't seen anguish.
You don't know. You don't know. You sound like you're from Erie now. Come on.
No. And then there's my wife that is like in upstate New York, which is like a hellish winter landscape. But with good wings. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. Check out everything at AwesomeCast.com, and please support us on Patreon.com/AwesomeCast. We like to put some extra stuff up there every once in a while, and every little bit helps keep the show rolling along. And please follow us again on the TikToks, on the Instagrams, on the YouTubes. A lot of clips are posting up there. Big thanks again to Dave Potter for the work he's been doing to help getting those eyeballs out there and getting our content out to people that don't want to sit here for an hour. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.